BioWare's and EA Anthem will shut down in a few days, January 12th, 2026 to be precise. It was an always online experience, so once servers go offline, and there's no offline mode by the way, it will become unplayable. EA has clarified that BioWare won't face layoffs due to this decision, which is the only good news in this announcement. There is no way to purchase the title and in-game currency, though it remains playable for EA Play playlists until August 15th, which is likely a very small portion of the player base. With only a few days left before it shuts down, one of 2019's most anticipated games, one that ultimately became one of that year's biggest disappointments, is now headed for its final days. Now, back in 2019, when we reviewed the game, we gave it a pretty middling score of 5 out of 10. Our reviewer back then appreciated the awesome javelins, the guns felt great, and flying was magnificent. However, Anthem was dragged down by rote mission design, limited enemy and content variety, and a boring opening stretch padded by heavy content gating, while constant visual bugs, long loading screens, and restrictive sluggish Fort Tarsis management, having to return just to equip gear, moving slowly, and even being teleported back if you stray too far, making the whole experience feel needlessly frustrating. However, there was hope. As our reviewer mentioned back in the day, that's not to say that Anthem is unsalvageable. I think it can be saved, and I hope that it would be, because the good stuff is really good. There's mounds of untapped potential here. It just needs work, serious work, to fix the game's core problems before BioWare begins the ceaseless content drip that defines games like this. That shouldn't be their focus now. Getting this right should be. Right now, Anthem is the music of creation that inspired its name. Left alone, it's unstable and flawed. But with the right hand to shape it, it could be something wonderful, is what the reviewer said. And it seems that BioWare took that feedback to heart. In 2020, it announced that it would be overhauling the game's many core systems. Dubbed Anthem Next, Christian Daly, who was looking after Anthem back then, stated in a BioWare blog post that the team will be making several changes to the experience. This meant that an incubation team had to be put in place. This team was small, at about 30 people, so it could have more agility, and the aim was experimenting and prototyping several portions of the actual gameplay experience.
That's big. Good luck.
The Anthem incubation team has kicked off, and we are starting to validate our design hypotheses, Daly said. Incubation is a term which we use internally. It essentially means we are going back and experimenting / prototyping to improve on the areas where we believe we fell short, and to leverage everything that you love currently about Anthem. We are a small team, about 30ish, earning our way forward as we set out to hit our first major milestone goals. Spoiler, this is going to be a longer process. And yes, the team is small, but the whole point of this is to take our time and go back to the drawing board. And a small team gives us the agility a larger one that can't afford. Daly said their target is to maintain transparency and keep communication channels open with the community, quoting, "We really want this experience to be different for the team and our players, but we know we have some tough challenges to tackle." He wrote back then, "We want to include you as we go and to be open and honest with where we are at and what the expectations are with where we are going. The reality is you will see things that look awesome but end up on the cutting room floor, or things that you might think suck that you feel we are spending too much time on. But in the spirit of experimentation, this is all okay. We really want to provide you all the transparency we can because of your passion and interest in Anthem." However, in early 2021, all plans to revamp Anthem were scrapped. On the BioWare blog, Daly stated that 2020 was a year unlike any other. However, and while we continue to make progress against all our game projects at BioWare, working from home during the pandemic has had an impact on our productivity. And not everything we had planned as a studio before COVID-19 can be accomplished without putting undue stress on our teams, end of quote. Daily revealed that BioWare will now choose to focus all of its resources on Dragon Age, eventually released in 2024 to disappointing sales and critical reception, and Mass Effect sequel, which is still in production as of 2026, as well as focusing on Star Wars: The Old Republic. Quote, game development is hard. Decisions like these are not easy. Moving forward, we need to laser focus our efforts as a studio and strengthen the next Dragon Age and Mass Effect titles, while continuing to provide quality updates to Star Wars: The Old Republic. End of quote. Interestingly, despite being a critical failure and EA letting it die for a few years, Anthem reportedly sold pretty well, at least on paper. In December of 2023, the LinkedIn profile of ex-EA employee Alexander Scriabin was spotted, who was at the publisher for more than 10 years. His profile mentioned that Anthem sold 5 million lifetime sales, and 2 million in its first week. However, for the publisher, it was a different story. EA had projected 5 to 6 million sales for the game by March 31st, 2019 alone. Internally, Anthem sales failed to meet EA's expectations, so overall it was a failure. I mean, imagine selling 5 million and still termed as a commercial flop. Oh boy. The entire situation surrounding Anthem has been pretty sad. I won't go in what kind of development problems the game went through, those have been documented well on the internet, but my mind goes back to 2017. It was E3 and BioWare first revealed Anthem with an absolutely insane demo that showcased the potential of the new IP. It was unreal in so many ways and took the internet by storm. Unfortunately, a large portion of that experience never got translated into the final product.
There's a bunch more coming in.
Okay, I'll get this round.
Thanks.
Oh, come on. Be something good.
After the revamp got cancelled, Anthem still lived on through a small but passionate community, and now it's on its way to getting shut down. That group is now looking for actual PC custom servers so that the game could live on. Whether they will be able to achieve that is something that of course remains to be seen. Anthem will be dead and buried in a few days, and will join numerous other live service games that squandered their potential. The truth is that the game, despite having some really good parts, didn't do much above the required minimum, and simply put, that isn't enough. It's a shame that for most of us, Anthem won't be remembered as a game worth our money or our time. Rather, it'll stand as a reminder of how poor management, weak planning, and troubled development can doom a game in a matter of weeks. So, what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon to get new video updates. We upload every day and would really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.